Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Jimbo50 here. Today, I'm gonna be breaking down the cost it takes to build this Mustang right here. So if you guys are interested in see, what it costs to build something like this, I know we could all look at cool cars and appreciate them, but what really goes into that? And that's what I'm gonna do for you guys today here and break that cost down for you. So this is my 2016 Mustang GT Premium, and I've done a lot of overhauling to this car. If you guys have been watching my videos, then you'll know. But if you haven't, you should go check them out, and you should also subscribe because we do a lot of cool things with this car and other cars as well all the time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It may be a little long one because I am going to be also giving you guys a breakdown of how I bought the car, how much I paid for it, and so forth. And to be clear, guys, this isn't a video on how much it costs to own this car, the upkeep and everything, but it's just how much it costs to build it the way she sits right now. So let's start off. I bought the car in 2017. All right, so I got it a year old and it only had 7,000 miles on it. But it took that first year of depreciation, which is really cool, and I got a really good deal on it. $31,000 out the door with taxes and fees, done. So it's really cool. The only thing it came with was originally it had Recaro seats from Ford. I guess it was an upgrade option in a package. So those are pretty cool to have. Although with those, you do lose the heated and cooling seats mechanism, but I personally care less about that. I'd rather have the Recaros, and they're awesome. I'm glad I have it. It also has red stitching along the seats that follow the car around door panels and the dash. So we'll start the video off with $31,000, put a tally right here, and we'll add everything up. I'm probably gonna be just as shocked as you guys are to see what's in this car, because honestly, it's probably more than I ever thought I'd put into the car. And the fact of the matter is, I'm nowhere near done yet, and I had a lot of plans for this thing for 2020. So this is everything since I owned it up until 2020. So the most noticeable thing about my Mustang is definitely gonna be the front end. So we'll start there, all right? So if you guys watched some of my previous videos, I absolutely hated the original grill. I went ahead and I ordered some aftermarket grill here. I missed the pony, but I have my reasons, and you can check that video out if you guys wanna know why. But this is the Mmd V-Series Grill. I got this from American Muscle. I absolutely love the product, and I love the way it looks. It just gives the car a cleaner, meaner look, and the straight bars on that kind of tie in with the rims here. That was $400 for the upper and lower piece, which is kind of crazy because it's just a piece of plastic, but at the same time, it makes the look of the car. If I had to complain about one thing in these, I would just say from afar, you can kind of see through here, and it just kind of looks messy and sloppy. And you could also kind of, seeing through here is okay, but if you look on this side, you could see a wire harness. So I really don't like that so much. And hopefully in the spring or summer, I'd like to fix that and dress it up and make it a little more presentable. But overall, the thing looks awesome. The next thing for the front end is definitely going to be the APR carbon fiber splitter. This thing is awesome. And this is actually real carbon fiber that goes all the way back one full sheet to there. Let me see if I can get it under there for you. That right there was about another $400, more than I wanted to spend on it, but it's real carbon fiber, so you really can't go wrong. It's not just a dress piece on the edge, and of course you get your stainless rods that come down here for the support. So right in the front there, we got about $800 just for the front end. So the next most noticeable thing you'll probably know about the car is that it is lowered. So the car, when I got it, had that ugly wheel gap like that big, and it looked awful. So between the facelift on it that I did and lowering the car, it honestly sits really, really nice. So for the lowering, I did lowering springs by Ebach, and they had a couple different grades. I will say those were about $300 that ran me. Mind you, I do all the work myself on this car, so it is a lot of money to put into the car, but at the same time, I'm also saving a lot because I'm not paying anybody to install it. For the rims, we have TSW wheels. Now the rears are actually offset a little bit, so you get a little staggered look there. You can kind of see the difference from one and another. And those are pretty cool. They're about $350 for the rears because they're an odd size, and the fronts are about $250. So altogether, you're looking at about $1,200 for just the rims. The tires alone, the Michelin Pilot Sports 4S, are literally like $450 a piece, and that was insane. But they perform so well. And when I had the tires put on the car, I had my private shop work on it. I feel a lot more confident in having them do things, and they take their time. That's not like a town fair tire when they rush through it and end up chipping your rim, because that happened to me before with this car too. So anyway, so you get the white glove treatment, but it also costs you a little more. So for balancing and alignment and everything, it was another like $400 an install. So out the door for the tires alone, I'm looking at like $2,200, I think it was. Yeah, pretty crazy. But you know what? They really do perform. And if I'm gonna have this car and really beat on it and get on it, I gotta have something I can feel confident in. So I got about $1,200 for the rims and another $2,000 for the tire. It's about $3,200 right there in the wheels. Now, another thing we got back here are the Mbrp Catback exhaust. This thing is phenomenal. I absolutely love the way it sounds. I'll put in a clip of it revving up for you guys so you could hear it. But that thing is phenomenal. That ran me about $1,000 right there. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. If not, I'll correct it on the screen, but it's about $1,000 right there for the exhaust, and I couldn't be happier with it. And there are black tips. You know, there are a lot louder exhausts out there, but I didn't want something that was too crazy, too radical. So, you know, if you're just cruising around, it's quiet, nice, comfortable ride. And when you hit the gas, you feel the rumble and stuff. But when you really get on it, this thing screams. One other thing you guys will notice is I do have caliper covers on this car. So Mustangs in the front, and it says GT on the back. Those are kind of cool. Those ran about another $300, but they really do make the car, and they just blacken out the calipers so they don't really jump out at you. You know, it looks a lot more clean. Another thing you guys probably noticed in the back here on the taillights are these covers, kind of smoke out the lights. These are just covers. So they Velcro on, peel and stick, which is kind of cool because you're not doing any permanent spraying. You can take them off if you want. They're easy to clean. I never have any issues with them. I do forget how much they were, but I'll just put it in the screen for you. Moving on, we also have tints on the car. So now when I bought the car, it originally had tints on it. However, whoever did it originally did an awful job, and there were bubbles everywhere. So they had to come off. And this is where it gets a little expensive, because not only did I have to buy new tints, and I did buy the kind of tints that they protect against the UV rays, and it blocks out like 80% of the heat, all that garbage. I did buy those, so that was a little more money, but then also I had to pay to have the old tints removed. So the tints ended up running around like $500-600. So a little more than I anticipated on spending on my tints, but I got them and they're on there for good. Now, as far as the interior goes, I haven't done anything to the interior yet, okay? We do have the Recaro seats I was telling you about, nice red stitching. This option from Ford was $1,600 to get these seats, but it's not something that I did to the car, so I'm not going to include it into the cost of building the car. However, keep that in mind. I haven't seen another Mustang yet that has these seats in it, so it's sort of an extra, but again, I didn't do it myself. So I do have some other plans for this in the future. We are going to be redoing the stereo in here, so that'll be cool. If you guys want to check that out, then definitely subscribe to the channel and put the bell notifications on so you know when we do that. But also, we're going to be changing out these ugly lights up here. I don't even know why Ford still puts those in this car, but I mean, they're absolutely disgusting. So we're going to be changing those out with LEDs, and I think there's more for the mirrors. Yeah, those two. So I have the kit. It's next video is coming up soon. So go ahead and pop the hood. And the first thing you guys probably notice is that there is no bar to hold the hood up. So there's no rod there. And that was honestly one of the greatest things I ever did, was delete that and install these aftermarket hood struts here. I don't know the name brand of them. I'll put it up on the screen, but I didn't want to get the ones with any writing on it. Personally, I don't like when there's a lot of names and logos and this and that. I didn't want something that said Ford or Mustang, because it's too repetitive. I mean, you know what kind of car it is by looking at it. It's like putting a Cummins sticker on a Cummins. I never understood why you did that. Really happy with that. I think those cost about $80. And then we have our strut tower brace here. So that thing was about $200. I mean, technically it does help with handling and suspension. I think that was more for looks than anything. This car already has the other brace. There's two braces. So basically you have your one going across, which does help. But then the one that really helps is this brace that ties in your strut to the firewall and to the body of the car, and then goes to that one. So that one's a lot more rigid and sturdy. So it does help, but you get the idea. So as for the engine bay, that's pretty much it. This car is stock for performance wise. I hope to be changing that this spring and summer. With your guys' help, I could do that by you subscribing and hitting the thumbs up button. When you hit the thumbs up button, it helps the YouTube algorithm promote this video for others to see as well. The more views I get, the more I can do to the car. I did tint out this little square here. So, not square, who am I kidding? I did tint out these orange reflectors here. I just hate it. There's too much chrome and too much orange right there. You can see the difference. I'll throw up a picture of what it used to look like before. This was like, I don't know, 20 bucks off Amazon. It's not as dark as I wanted, but it's totally fine. The most expensive thing I've done to this car is definitely the paintwork. Let me explain. I mentioned to you guys before that the wheels on this car are wider than the stock sizes that were on it. Because of that, the front tires, I mean, they don't really stick out. Wheels kind of turned right now, but they don't really stick out, but they do just enough, and the tires are really, really sticky to grab everything and throw it back that way. And what happens there was I started getting a lot of chips from road debris in my rear quarters here. So it honestly looked like it was dust, but it wasn't. Tiny little microchip. Oh wait, I forgot about these. These are the mud flaps I ended up putting on. Those, I think, I don't know why I'm messing up this number. I think they were either $70 or $140. I know that's a big range, but something like that. But those are pretty cool. So I put those on the car to help prevent chipping that I was getting from all the road debris. Permanently fix this problem, I had to spend a lot of money. First, I had to take the car to a body shop and have all these microchips touched up, every one by hand, okay? And they did was they touched them all up, and then they compounded it out and buffed it down, so this way they weren't protruding. And honestly, it looks flawless. You can't tell a thing unless you're going up with a magnifying glass. But anyway, I had all the paintwork done on that, and then to prevent it from happening again, I actually wrapped the car with Expel. Those of you who don't know what Expel is, it's a clear vinyl wrap that's extremely durable and will help prevent against nicks, chips, and stuff like that. So obviously you're gonna still get dents in your car, but you won't get scratches, you won't get any road debris nicks. And honestly, I gotta say, since I put that on the car, wherever it's on the car, I have not gotten a single chip. I'm so happy I did that. So the areas I did that were the front bumper, the hood, because those areas are most vulnerable. I also have my headlights covered, blinker, vent thingies. Then we have the lower door / rocker area from here down, and you can't even tell that it's on here, guys. Then we have our rear quarter, this whole entire chunk here. You can see one little fine line, and you don't even really see it in person, but that's it. So that's covered, won't ever get a chip again. And then behind the rear tire a little bit as well. So by doing that, it prevents any road debris from nicking the paint. So that ended up costing me about $2,800, which is a crazy amount of money, but at the same time, if I kept going the way I wasn't gonna have any paint left. Now, if any of you guys have a black car, you'll know that it's extremely hard to keep clean and you see absolutely everything. Another thing I did to this car was ceramic coat it, and that was pretty expensive as well, but definitely well worth it. So basically what ceramic coating does is makes your car hydrophobic, which means water doesn't stick to it. It actually beads up and rolls off. It helps against very light scratches and swirls. That was another thing that I debated for doing for a while because of the amount of money. So I won't go too far into what ceramic coating is. If you guys want to see that, go check out this video above. That's another thing I ended up doing. That cost me about $1,200. So right then and there, guys, just to protect the paint between the ceramic coating, the Expel wraps, and having the paint work done on the rear quarters, I'm about $4,000 into the paint. And that is a lot of money. It took me about a year and a half to make the decision and pull trigger on it to do it. But to be honest with you, I am very grateful I did it, even though it was a lot of money. Oh yeah, and one other thing, I do have the rims are all ceramic coated too, so that's included in that price as well. It was a lot of money, and I'm glad I did it. And now it's done, it's out of the way, the stuff's on the car forever, and I don't have to worry anymore. And again, it's so much easier to clean my car now. So that's pretty much everything that I put into this car. And honestly, I can't wait to see this number because I'm gonna be just as shocked as you guys may be. But keep in mind, I do all the work on this myself. Outside of the paint work and everything, all the modifying and changes we do to the car, I do myself. I do all my own mechanic work and everything. So, you know, I did put a lot of money into the car, but I also saved a lot of money by doing it myself. So keep that in mind. You know, if you're someone who's looking to do this and aren't handy, you could easily tack on another few $1,000s to pay a good shop to do this kind of work. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. and subscribe to the channel to see more. I also will be doing a video shortly on what it costs to own this car, okay? What it costs me every year to have it, drive it, and have fun with it. Because it's one thing to buy the car, it's another thing to own it. And that's also another thing you should always consider before buying a car. We got a lot of cool plans for this car for 2020, and I'm sure we'll be doing another review of this at the end of the year. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell to be updated on every single video that comes out. And once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.